And we are live. Welcome, social media. Welcome, world. Welcome, Pensacola, especially. Welcome to the Pensacola Perspective. My name is Jabril Suleiman. I'm your resident guest, host, uh, facilitator of all these conversations we have. Of course, we start off the way we do with every show. What is the Pensacola Perspective? It is designed to put you guys, the people in Pensacola, the people who may be watching, the movers and shakers who may not really have the platform to talk about your initiatives. I'm giving you that platform. The show is giving you that platform. It's not just me, because there's some people behind the scenes as well. Today we have Miss Okevia Carter from Déjà Events. Now, I'm on Facebook all the time, of course, and I've been hearing about this new party planning service, this new event service. I've heard about this lunch party. Didn't really know what it was. Start checking it out. Start following the event page, and as I have found out, there's some big things that are going on, growing and sexy things that are going on here in Pensacola, and so I want to introduce Miss Okevia Carter to the show.
Thank you, Jabril. I appreciate this opportunity. I know, and on behalf of everyone else before me and after me, thank you for this opportunity, because like you said, some people may not have a way or a platform other than Facebook or text messages, phone calls, that kind of thing, to get the word out there or to let people know what's going on. So this is great. I'm excited to be on the show, and thank you for all that you're doing. For people like myself and the community, we do appreciate you for that.
Definitely, definitely. It's my pleasure, really, because I've been in business for so many 13 years now, since I was 20. I'm 34 now, and I mean, the fact of the matter is that I've gotten to the point where I need to highlight other initiatives. I need to highlight what's going on. It's been that drive within inside of me to kind of really help put people like you on the map. So that's what we're here today. Like I said in my introduction, I've been hearing about Déjà Events. I saw that there was a lunch party. I missed the lunch party.
Yes, you did, and you missed the treat.
And I missed January. Now, was January the 3rd the lunch party?
Correct. January 3rd was the lunch party, and December 12th was the promo party. So that was just like a, hey, everybody, this is what's going on. Come out and meet, ask your questions, and let's have a good time. And let's get prepared for the launch party, which was January 3rd.
Right. Well, I missed both of those, and you said it was a treat, and I was surprised today to find out that it was a daytime party, or it started out as a daytime party that evolved into a night party, right?
Something like that, yeah. It started about 3 p.m. It ended about 7. So by the time, we were getting towards the end, it was welcomed. It was different, and it was welcomed by Pensacola, so I'm glad we were able to do it. Day events are big in a lot of other cities already, and it just was something that hadn't quite made it to Pensacola. I think we sometimes are a little behind on a few things, but day parties are in Atlanta, they're in Charlotte, they're in Tallahassee, Miami, so it was just something I had experienced before and wanted to bring it to my home city.
You know, it's amazing, because I really thought it was this nighttime event, and when you said day party, and I actually watched the video, because with any type of business, it's always good to have that visual there that can be shared, and it leaves an impression in your mind, and that's when I saw these people out here partying like it's like it's happy hour, but then you said it was 3 o'clock and it was bright day outside, because I know it gets dark around happy hour.
Right.
So it couldn't have been during that time. It had to be before that. So that's amazing. What, you said you took away from some of the cues of what they've been doing in some of the bigger cities and all. You mentioned when we talked before that, of course, you transition from Tallahassee. You've been here since 2009. What impact has being in Tallahassee and with the culture, uh, what impact has it had on you coming here in Pensacola, coming here to Pensacola to basically launch this events type of business that you have, this adventure that you have now?
I think it was a major part of why I started Deja Vu Events because, well, Tallahassee is a college town. You got two major universities there, FAMU and Florida State, and then Tallahassee Community College, which is also a great school. So it's a college town, so there was a lot of parties, a lot of things to do, not just parties, but socials, different events that different organizations and groups were putting together, both in college and graduate school students and so on and so forth. So that had a major impact. It was never a dull moment in Tallahassee, and I knew coming to Pensacola, yeah, it was going to be different. Wasn't expecting the exact same, but when I got here, I did miss some of that, and so it had a major influence on the whole Deja Vu planning. I was a part of a modeling troupe there in Tallahassee, Illustrious Elite Modeling Troupe, and we did a lot of planning. We put on big productions for whether it be homecoming or just just a show for a fundraiser, whatever the case may be. So I had some planning experience with that, or hosting events, being invited out just to be a part of someone else's event. So it was a major impact. Not only that, but just traveling in general and being able to see what other cities are doing had a lot to do with what Deja Vu Events is today.
But starting Deja Vu Events, I mean, there's that passion behind it, or there's that experience in previous party planning to a big extent, but there's some sentimental parts that's close, dear to your heart of why you really launched this business venture. I mean, talk about that a little bit.
That's true. From 2008 up until 2014, I experienced quite a bit of loss in my life, and from my father to my grandfather to my brother-in-law, and those two being a month apart from each other, September and October of 2014. And those people and those men, those great men of my life, influential men of my life, were all some of my biggest cheerleaders, And so one in particular, my brother-in-law and myself, we had several conversations about things such as this, not necessarily Deja Vu Events, but doing something for our city, bringing some things that we have seen or we've talked about or we would love to see happen here for our people, planning some different things, grown-up things. So it was something that was some unfinished business. I felt like, we had already made these plans or talked about it, and then within a blink of an eye, he was gone. So that passion still brewed in me, and I felt obligated to continue what we started. And my brother, that was September, and he was always so proud of me and always reminded me of how proud my father was of me. So they've all been a great push and great motivators, and this isn't just about me. That goes to say this isn't just about me. It's about others who have gone on to meet our maker before me, and they have all instilled some great things in me, and it's something we talked about. So I'm going to keep it going for them, not just myself.
So it was the passing of your brother in September. And so how fast did you get yourself together and you decided Deja Vu Events is going live this year? It was 2014 at the time. I mean, how long did it take you from transitioning from that grief period to that moving and shaking period?
It's crazy because it was like September 16th, lost my brother. October, I think it was the 11th, my brother-in-law, and the end of October is when the whole thing kicked off. It was, hey, I'm going to make this happen. I started talking to my sister, my boyfriend, LB. We started having conversations. So it was like within a 2 to 3 weeks time from losing my brother-in-law, which was the second death, I was already moving. And my sisters and my mom, they all are like, we don't understand where you get this strength from, how you're able to just keep going, keep a level head. And I can't explain it either. I tell people all the time, I can't explain it. I don't know either. I can only say it's God, that has kept me sane, because sometimes I feel like I should have been lost my mind, but I am still here. And so it was like 2-3 weeks, and I started on it. I didn't know what it was going to be called at that time. I didn't think it was Deja Vu Events. I just said, hey, I'm ready to make something happen. I'm ready to do something. For a long time, I've talked about doing something. It was time to, be about it. You know the saying, be the change you want to see. And
Right.
so I decided I was going to be that change. So December 1st was when I actually put the word out there, decided the name and told everybody, hey, this is what it is. But I have been planning since the end of October.
You really truly that experience. That experience that you went through, I mean, that really personifies the plight of the entrepreneur. I would say almost as a curse sometimes, because once that idea starts brewing in your mind and you figure out how to put it into action, and how to monetize it, it really becomes something that you're thinking about when you're falling asleep, when you think about when you're in the shower, or just everywhere, driving in the car.
Exactly.
You think about how to cultivate that idea. That's great.
Right. At 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, writing stuff down. Yeah, I'm doing all that.
Well, tell me about, so you came from, like I said, from Tallahassee, and you came here with this idea. Now, is Deja Vu Events, is this your full-time job right now? Have you jumped off the porch into a full-blown entrepreneur, or do you have a day job there? And if you do, when would you think it would take over even your day job, or is that not an option at this moment?
At this moment, no, it's not an option. I enjoy my job. I'm a guidance counselor. I work for Escambia County School District, and I love going and working with the kids every day. So I am enjoying my job and enjoying doing this on the side. Do I ever think it will fully take over? Possibly. I don't know. My passion is also with our youth, and eventually I do plan to hopefully have my own private practice as a licensed mental health counselor, so I'm working on that as well. So I could see private practice and Deja Vu Events being what I do. For now, though, I'm happy with where I am. I'm happy with being a guidance counselor, and that's my 9 to 5, and then after that I'm working on stuff for Deja Vu Events.
So in the process of putting these events together, and the whole theme behind it is growing and sexy, right? And so how tempting is it? And maybe you haven't come into this position yet, or into this issue, but we've had promoters before that throws the theme of growing and sexy around, and then all of a sudden you see somebody that really doesn't look too grown walking into the party or walking into the event. I mean, have you thought about that yet? Is that something that you feel like that you definitely won't ever waver on? And I mean, because you're a teacher, you're a guidance counselor. You might see these people.
Correct. Therefore, that has not been a temptation at all. I don't mind saying no. It is grown and sexy. It is, for the older and mature crowd. That will not be a problem of mine. I'm not even going to put my pinky toe in that water, okay? Like, it's not going to happen. It's not that serious. Those $20 are not that important to me. I still have a reputation and a standard that I have to uphold, not just for myself, but because of my day job. And so, no, we won't go there. We won't go there. I won't make that mistake. I will make sure that, I'm checking license, that kind of thing, because alcohol is served. We're going to keep it grown, and that is, that won't be a problem on my end.
Well, let's talk about the venues where you actually hold your events at. I mean, because let's talk about the venue, which was a very nice venue where the video was shot at for the January the 3rd party. And then, of course, there was the pre-lunch party, right? What was it called?
Wait, that was the lunch party.
No, the actual the one that was in December, right? You
Okay,
had
December was Blend Lounge, right?
Okay, and that was Blend Lounge. So it seems like there's a pattern of you switching up venues and so forth. Now, is that something that you're going to do consistently, switch the scenes up a little bit, or do you have something planned out where you're just going to deal with one venue for a certain amount of time and then switch, move on maybe in 6 months from now? How does that work?
Right. Right now, it is it's planned to move, monthly. It may be a time where we're at the same place, back to back or whatever. But for the most part, switching up the scenes is the plan, because I think that adds excitement and a level of uniqueness and something new. Also, some people hadn't even heard of Blend or knew what Blend was, or whatever the case may be. So that was a way to also let Pensacola know what else is going on, what other things they can get into, or visit and have a good time, or bring their friends or whatever. So it was all part of the plan to expose some of these people as well, or these different venues. So yes, I will be moving. February's event will be at Special Occasions on Garden Street. That's February 14th, which will be the next, and it will be a day party as well.
Right, right, right. Okay, good deal, good deal. Now, have you had any issues with some of the venue owners not being totally receptive to an African American based crowd there or anything like that? I mean, I've from myself hanging around, from me hanging around promoters before, that has been an issue. Hopefully, with a more mature crowd, you don't come into that. Has that been an issue at all here in Pensacola?
Not as of yet. No, I hadn't had any problems with that. I make sure that, of course, I'm gonna be professional every time I meet, with these vendors, and make sure that I'm representing myself and the brand. So I hadn't had an issue with it. I also checked in several times with the managers and owner at V Paul's. He was actually within the mix a little bit himself, so I made sure, I checked on him, and he said, that was a great crowd. Looks like everybody enjoyed themselves. I hope we can do it again. He was very excited. He talked with a few of the guests there, and everyone seemed to have liked him, and he liked them as well. So
it had to be a blast if you had the owner of the party with you as well.
You're right. He was having a good time himself.
Turn it up, for real. Okay. Let me ask you about, some of the things that I've seen as drawbacks or issues with people putting on different parties or events and so forth around Pensacola is the lack of technology. I run a tech company, and I've been doing that for the last 4 years now. I forget. And I'm big on that. And so you go out of town and you can swipe your card, or you can buy tickets electronically and so forth. Explain to me the things that you've done to really add in technology so I can buy something from my smartphone, buy a ticket from my smartphone, and attend your event.
Right, right. That's something that I felt too. We in Pensacola had kind of, we weren't, what's the word? We weren't quite there yet, and it still is a problem, because
we are a couple years behind. We are a few years.
Even with the last event, I tried to push the online ticket sales, and it was few and far between that actually took advantage of that. But it's convenient. I don't see why we hadn't gotten there yet, but I will continue to make that available on the website. There's a PayPal button where you can purchase tickets. I'll have my what do you call the little swiper doodad from my phone if I'm in. I can, yeah, there you go. I can take payments that way, but I'm making it as convenient as possible. We just gotta, get everybody accustomed to doing that, because that's just a part of where we have some catching up to do. So there is the website, DejaVueVentsOnline.com, where you can check out past parties, or you can look at the event planning and promoting and hosting, because I'm not just throwing my own parties. I'm here to provide services for other people as well. So you can look at those packages that are available.
Well, that leads into my next question. I mean, really, you're not just a daytime party event planner, nighttime party event planner, grown and sexy event planner. You're really using this to step into a multitude of events to plan for, right? And not just for the African Americans either, for all cultures or all participants, right?
Correct, right. I'm not putting myself in the box to do just one level of
Yeah.
event planning or party throwing or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I want to do everything. I'm not just planning parties. I can plan a wedding. I can plan a getaway. I can do whatever you want to make happen, whatever your vision is. That's what Déjà Vu Events wants to make happen. The word déjà vu means you've seen it before. So I want to make people's visions that they've seen come to life so that, they can live in that moment. So that's what my plan is. Also, if people already have something that they have planned themselves and they just want somebody to help promote for them, I can do that. I put together a street team for Jennifer Demps. They're having that A Voice Against Domestic Violence hair gala,
Right.
a night in Oz. So we put together a street team for her, and we've been hitting the streets at different events, making sure that people hear about it, and we're giving out flyers. I have a page for her on my website, so you have something going on and just need help getting the word out, because a lot of times people have stuff, we say there's nothing to do, but there are things that may be going on, we just don't know about it, and they're missing that advertising part of it. They're not putting it out there, they're not marketing, they're not pushing it. So you need help, we can do that too. So checking out the website will really give a full glimpse of what all I have to offer.
Well, I've called myself a self-proclaimed Facebook marketing guru to a big extent, and one of the things that you have done that I have fussed at a couple other promoters, if you ever watch this, you know who I'm talking to, but you started out with a fan page, and there's so many promoters that are pushing events off of their Facebook, normal personal pages. And
Right.
you can't do that. You can't really do that anymore. Facebook has taken away the little promote thing. You used to promote from your personal page, and they're restricting how many people you can actually invite into an event, things like that, because they want to monetize it and they want you to boost it through your fan page.
Right.
So, you've definitely stepped out as far as Facebook marketing into the right approach, because you're using that fan page to really launch your brand, and that's good.
Well, thank you. I'm trying.
You're trying, and you're doing, and you're succeeding, but you're doing a lot of work, and it can't be just you doing all of this work yourself. So it has to be a team there. I saw Clear Eye, I saw Carlos there.
Right.
So as far as on the graphics and as part of the branding, so who else is involved? Who's really helping you succeed at this business venture?
Right. You mentioned Carlos. He's my photographer. I've had him at events even before Déjà Vu, so we've kept connected. All Access has provided the DJing for me, All Access events. That's DJ5 and J5 and Chris Wooten. They were there doing the music, and they'll be at the next event as well. I had a few friends and family really who jumped in and helped promote it and sold tickets. Who else? Let me think. That was for the most part it. I used Corey at Step Above Graphics. He did the T-shirts. He did this banner that you see behind me.
Okay.
Yeah, so we connected as well. And other than that, I have friends who came from out of town, from Tallahassee, Tampa. They all were here, and as soon as they got here, they were like, let us know what to do. We want to help. Just put us to work, and it went from there. So I am thankful for all those persons who assisted with the planning as well as the promoting, and on the day of, those handy elves that helped me hang those shears and did all that stuff. It was very well appreciated. I couldn't have done it by myself.
That was a beautiful acceptance speech on your award. I hope you didn't leave anybody out. POP, hold it down.
I was about to go through naming, but I said nope, that's danger zone, so let's leave it right here.
Right. Let me ask you though. You kind of touched on it a little bit. What's the true 3 to 5 year plan with this? Do you want to grow this into a full scale events planning? Do you want to bring on other employees that are helping you along the way? I mean, what's the 3 to 5 year, and also what makes you special compared to the next event planner that's out there?
Definitely in the next 3 to 5 years, I want to expand, you know, what Déjà Vu Events is doing, to have employees that will work to help me, because it will be too big for me at some point. It'll take more than just me. That is the ultimate goal for sure. To possibly have my own venue space, you know, to where I can have events there, or, you know, if I decide to move them elsewhere, that's a possibility as well, or rent it out to other people, whatever the case may be. I do want that in my future. Like I said earlier, I'm not confining myself to a box, so I feel like I'm different in the aspect of the average promoter or the event planner that just does one thing. Like I'm trying to be real well-rounded and you know, encompass a lot of things. Aside from that, making sure I'm not monotone. I want to create something different for everybody. You know, I don't want you to see the same thing twice. You know, that kind of thing. So that's what's going to make me different than everyone else. I also, the passion that's driven behind this, the motivation from, you know, it not just being about me, but a legacy of great men that have influenced me, who have gone on. And I think that's the biggest thing. You know, it's not just my nature of being a great event planner, but it's also something that I'm researching. I'm making sure I'm staying abreast on trends and what's new, what's happening. So it'll be something different for everybody, I'm sure.
Miss Okevia Carter of Déjà Vu Events. Now tell everybody where they can find the fan page, the website, all the information that's being released on the latest events.
Right. So again, the website, DejaVueVentsOnline.com. All right. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, just at Déjà Vu Events. The fan page is there as well. If you are my friend on Facebook or Instagram, any kind of way, any avenue, you can find Déjà Vu Events connected to me. That's really it. The next party is going to be February 14th. It's the Le Chocolat Day Party in honor of Valentine's Day. It's not just for couples, so singles, you are welcome. It's not just a couple.
There'll be a corner to the side for you singles, though.
Don't do that. Everyone is welcome. I'm sure everyone will have a good time. So don't say you're gonna stay in the house on Valentine's Day.
Don't break up any happy homes now, singles. So. Look, another thing also, guys, when you go to the Facebook page, when you click like again and click get notifications, because with Facebook, the way they've changed things up, just because Okevia posts something on her page, that doesn't mean that you're still going to find out about it unless she specifically boosts that post. You're not going to find out about it. So click get notifications so that every time she posts something on her page, you'll know about it. And that's how I've been personally keeping up with your page lately. Right. And so I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Well, Ms. Carter, once again, I do appreciate you coming on the show. You have truly been bitten by the entrepreneurial bug, and that spirit is inside of you, and the best of luck to you in your business venture. And guys, this is what we do. This is what we do here. I mean, if you have an initiative that's going on, if you have some type of program that you want to implement in the community, if you feel like you need some exposure, the Pensacola Perspective is the place to put a platform out there, because I'm going to push the heck out of these videos to make sure that if not all of Pensacola, at least a good amount of Pensacola sees what you're doing personally, what you're doing, Ms. Carter, what you're doing as well. So, I mean, come on the show, message the page, facebook.com/Pensacola Perspective, and y'all check us out on the next show. We'll be back with a new business person or community coordinator to put you guys on the Pensacola chopping block. And until then, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Shabril.